Traditional cacciatore is simmered in the oven or on the stovetop, but this Instant Pot version is so simple and delicious. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Clean Eating Kitchen. I'm Carrie, and this is where I share easy, real food recipes that help you feel great. I'm also the author of the authorized Instant Pot cookbook, the Healthy Meal Prep Instant Pot cookbook. Depending on how you serve this chicken cacciatore, this recipe can be made low carb, paleo, gluten-free, whole-30, and keto-friendly. So let's get started. We really want to add flavor when we're making this chicken dish because boneless chicken breasts can be a little bit bland and boring, but this recipe is not bland and boring at all, and I'm going to show you exactly how we add tons of flavor. So first, I am going to push the saute button and heat up the Instant Pot a little bit. And that's one thing that is so great about this electric pressure cooker is that you can actually saute and simmer things right in the pot. So I've pushed the saute button, and I have about a tablespoon of olive oil that we're going to add into the inner pot. I'm using a 6-quart Instant Pot. You can also use an 8-quart Instant Pot for this recipe. And while we continue to let the Instant Pot heat up a little bit so we can saute our onion and chicken, I want to let you know that you can serve this dish in so many different ways, as I mentioned. So traditionally, a chicken cacciatore would be served with cooked pasta or even rice or polenta or mashed potatoes. But if you do want to make this low carb, then you could serve this with zucchini noodles or sauteed cauliflower rice, or I'm actually going to be using some low carb hearts of palm noodles, which I buy online. You can actually find this product in a few different stores now, but I think it's a delicious low carb noodle option. And so you really have a ton of different choices. And now that our pot is heated up, I'm going to add about 1 onion that I have chopped up finely. Oh, you can hear that sizzle? We're gonna add all the onion in there. And again, what we're trying to do is add a lot of flavor. So the chicken is just a lot more flavorful than normal chicken breast would be. I'm gonna stir around my onion. And I'm also going to add in 2 garlic cloves that I have minced. And we're going to add about 1.5 pounds of boneless chicken breasts. You could also use chicken thighs if you prefer, but we're using chicken breasts today that I have cut into medium-sized pieces. Now, if you want to, you can leave the chicken breasts whole. I like to cut them into smaller sized pieces. I think it helps the chicken get cooked through. And I think it's better for meal prep. You can divide it up easier. And so we're just gonna let the chicken saute for a few minutes in the garlic and onion and olive oil, and this is just gonna help add more flavor. We're also going to add our salt and pepper and dried oregano at this point. I also had some fresh thyme in the refrigerator, and so I chopped that up. And we're just gonna sprinkle that on top. You can always add a little bit more salt and pepper at the end, but I like to add it during the cooking process as well. I'm gonna give everything a stir. And we're not cooking the chicken at this point. We're just giving it a little bit of color. We're getting it just cooked a little bit on the outside, maybe even a little browned, which of course will add more flavor. The chicken has started to cook a little bit on all sides, so I'm going to cancel the saute button and we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So let's go ahead and add about 1 cup, maybe a little bit more than 1 cup of chopped button mushrooms. You can use any kind of mushroom that you have on hand. And mushrooms are just so traditional in Italian dishes, and I love them so much. And then I have 1 red bell pepper that I have chopped into small pieces. I'm gonna add that right in. This is a great meal prep recipe. It's gonna end up serving about 6, and so you can divide it up at the end into meal prep containers, enjoy it for the whole week. If you have a family, then hopefully you'll have some leftovers after you make this dish. And then I have 1 can of chopped tomatoes, and with the juices, you can also use crushed tomatoes if you prefer. Okay, now we have a little bit of liquid that we need to add, because you always need about 1 cup of liquid in any pressure cooker meal. So I have about a half a cup of red wine here. You can also use white wine, or if you are on a Whole30, then you can just substitute extra broth. And I do have a little bit of broth here, about a half a cup. I'm going to add that in as well. And that should be plenty of liquid to help this chicken dinner come up to pressure. So I'm going to give everything a stir before I lock on the lid. I think this recipe will be perfect for the cooler days of fall. I've actually made this recipe before on my YouTube channel. It was sometime last year, and I thought the video really didn't reflect my current style of shooting videos. And so I wanted to remake it for you today. And plus, it's just one of my favorite recipes. So I really want you to be able to enjoy it as well. And we're going to lock on the lid and set the time to 8 minutes on high pressure. And then we have a few ingredients at the end that we will add to make the flavors pop even more. Make sure the knob is set to sealing, and then we're gonna set the time to 8 minutes. And we're all set. We're gonna let it cook, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how we're gonna add more flavor at the end and how we're going to serve it. The chicken has finished cooking, and I let the pressure come down for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I used the quick release to get rid of all the remaining pressure. So now I'm going to remove the lid, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do to add some more flavor and how we're going to serve the chicken. It really smells amazing. I think because of the dried oregano, it smells like a pizza. There's quite a bit of liquid in here, but again, that's just something we have to do to make the pressure cooker work. So I suppose if you wanted to cut back on the broth a little bit, you could. I think all the liquid is going to add a lot of flavor, so I'm not really worried about it. Now what I'm going to do is stir in about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and that is going to add just a little bit of tartness and help bring out the flavors even more without adding too much more salt. And then I have a little bit of chopped parsley, but I'll use that to garnish at the end. And so now what I've done is I have some of the hearts of palm pasta that I was mentioning, and all you have to do is open the can and rinse it. And I'm gonna be serving this as a meal prep recipe, so I'm just really gonna transfer it to 2 separate containers, and my husband and I will enjoy it for the next few days. I may even freeze one of the bowls after I divide it up here, and then we can enjoy it in a few weeks. So let me just divide up a little bit more and show you how delicious it is. The chicken looks like it's cooked perfectly, and it just smells really amazing. So I will probably add a little bit more liquid into the bowls and just top it with a little bit of chopped parsley. And that is our Instant Pot Chicken Cacciatore. I hope that you love this recipe as much as I do. And I've created a playlist with just Instant Pot chicken recipes. They're all really healthy, but full of flavor and easy to make. And thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.